The official start.
Should get like.
I like it.
All right. Okay. All right. Where should we start? All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back. We'll just do the intro now. Welcome back to Full Saints Podcast, episode 2.
Episode 2, baby.
Talia Tyler, Devin Manns. This is Frank Buncom, class of 2015.
2015.
Frank, you're a pretty crazy guy. You've been doing some really interesting stuff right out of high school.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know about crazy isn't fair. That's a very fair.
Very
description.
interesting. Very interesting.
No, that's a very fair description. I actually like it.
But we'll start it off. We kind of wanted to start it off with like what you were doing in high school, early years, stuff there, and go into like college, and then like what you're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
I actually went through your Twitter.
Whoa. I haven't gone.
I wanted to play. Like last time we started it off.
I haven't tweeted in years. I probably need to just deactivate it.
I went all the way down to like 2016.
Woo.
It's actually funny. So last time we had like our last interview, the first episode was Coach Carragher.
Okay.
And he like football was in most of his life, but then also farming. So it's like we should just turn this football and farming podcast. But
honestly,
I guess we're having that again.
yeah, I guess. Okay, so I wanted to play a little game.
let's do
I'm
it.
gonna say a quote, okay, and you either tweeted this or it's something like I made up or someone else said it.
Okay.
And you try to guess if you said that or not. Okay.
I'm writing patrons to stuff right now.
All right. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice.
I probably tweeted that.
You did, yeah. February 23rd, 2017.
Wow.
Okay. I need a room full of mirrors so I can be surrounded by winners.
I definitely did not tweet that. You made that up for sure.
No, that's Kanye.
Let's say that's no shot. No shot.
When you start hanging out with people who aren't from the hood, they make their own salad dressing.
I might have tweeted that in college, maybe.
Yeah. 2017 again.
Wow. Yep. Okay. Yeah, because I was in college. Like,
Can you
whoa.
give the context by that one?
I think it might have been my girlfriend at the time, who we're still really good friends. As she plays for the Kansas City Current in the NWSL. Actually, was just in Kansas City and went to a game, and I think we're in the dorm, and she made salad dressing. And I was like, what? What is? It just blew my mind a little. I'm like, I was like, oh, yeah, you can make salad dressing. And it was so good. So I don't know what prompted me to share that with the world. But
Hey, I'm glad you did.
there it goes.
Okay, next one.
This is actually hilarious.
Mama told me to get some money. He's got to think.
I gotta think about it because it's my mom. I'm gonna say it's fake.
No, you said that. You posted
Oh, it was
a clip of yourself.
It was in the video.
Yeah.
I got an interception.
Yeah, well, there was an interception.
Okay,
I
it
can't
must
let
have
the clip
been,
in.
okay. It must have been an interception. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mama told me to get some money. I got
Yeah.
to pick.
People are about as happy as they make their minds up to be.
I didn't fake.
Yeah, that was Abe Lincoln.
Okay.
But
But I'm like,
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
no.
That was Drake.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've never agreed with that one.
Okay.
I've always said
Really?
I want to be here for a good and a long
Okay.
time. I was like, what? ¿Por qué no los dos?
If good things go bad, it's not the end of the world.
That's also Drake.
Oh, you said that. That's not Drake. Oh, wait.
It is Drake.
Did you quote Drake?
I probably did. If good things go bad, it's
All right.
not the end of the world. It's just the end of a world that you have with one girl.
Oh, yeah. What song is that?
That's old Drake.
Yeah, it's like,
That's overreacting.
I've heard that before. Oh, that makes so much sense. You quoted Drake.
All
right.
Something like that.
Feeling like Drake's son.
No, what is going on with all this Drake stuff?
You said that.
I mean, I guess I have been a huge Drake fan.
You put a Snapchat emoji after.
That's got to mean something. There's got to be something. What's that, 2018?
Yeah, it was 28.
I had to be meaning.
September 3rd. I want to know the
I
context.
don't know. I don't know what. I couldn't tell you the context behind it.
Yeah,
even know what that
those were
means.
all really old. That's why I knew you wouldn't recognize like half the ones you said. Okay, so I want to go into kind of your Saints career. Okay, so before or like younger years. So before Saints, you went where?
I actually went to a lot of different schools growing up, but my 8th grade year, I went to St. Jude.
Okay. Right, yeah, St. Jude. And then you came to Saints. Do you remember kind of what it was like freshman welcome week, like coming into Saints? And that was, what? So if you graduated in 2015, that was...
That was 2011.
Yeah, okay, damn.
Long time ago.
Saints looked a lot different.
Yeah.
Now we have like all this stuff. We
Yeah.
kind of wanted to give you like a little tour after.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
fine.
kind of see what's going on. All right, so yeah, Saints. And then I was talking to Dr. Go about a few funny things you did. Did you start... He told me you wanted to start a trend where everyone wore 2 ties on Mass Day.
That was something I started doing. That was something
You're like, it'd be sick if just everyone had
I'm
one,
like,
one in the back, or was it 2 right here?
So it kind of evolved. I've always been what would you say, a rule skirter.
Okay.
Like
Against the
rule
social
pusher.
norms.
Yeah, like I like to like break some of these norms. I'm a big question asker.
Okay.
Like I asked a question a couple years ago. Why do men stand up to pee? Why don't we sit to pee?
I saw it. That was
that
on your
led me down
blog.
a whole like little track. But like I'm a big question asker. So like I was like reading the Saints handbook and I was like, why are some of these things in place? And like what can I do to kind of like push on them without getting myself in trouble? And like allowing me to like express myself a little bit. And it said nothing about wearing 2 ties. So I was like, all right, let me try this out.
You still had the one on, so you weren't really breaking any rules.
No, exactly. So I was like, it evolved. At first, it was like I wore like 2 like neckties, like down side by side, and I was like, I didn't really love the look, but you know, I'm pushing the envelope. Then I did something where I kind of overlaid them and like had like a shorter one and like a longer one, and it was like I think I had like a purple and gold long one, and then like a white one kind of on top of it, so you can see like the purple and gold a little white. And then I tried out 2 bow ties.
Oh.
And then what I ended up falling for, what ended up being the best mix, was a necktie that came down with a bow tie.
Oh, classic.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's a good
that ended up becoming my look for a little while there. But now I don't dress up. I just on a farm and a ranch. But like that's my go-to with the 2 ties.
I saw the blog. We kind of looked at your blog. It's definitely like I think we kind of have something in similar. Like I've always just kind of like questioned things like why does this work? Like why are like people doing this? And like I feel like the blog was like that's a cool way to kind of put those questions out there. Do you kind of want to talk about like a little bit like how like that blog like kind of came around or did it start?
Yeah. So like I mentioned, been a question asker, but there's just things that I would like talk about with my friends, my peers. Then it got to the point where I enjoy to learn in public.
Okay.
So the blog ended up being a way, honestly, it's mostly for myself. Like when I sit down and think about these questions and write about them in long form and do a little research, it allows me to actually come up with a stance and opinion myself. And then the function of the blog is then to take that work that was ultimately for me and how I'm able to think about things and process and create a framework for myself and then share that. And then friends, peers, whomever can then read that if they choose to comment on it. And then that allows me to learn in public and get opinions from other people. So it's definitely like I write and like it allows me to think and write for myself and then share it. And then I can learn in public and hopefully that oftentimes online things can skew, blah, 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 but I'm hoping that things remain respectful and like we can all just learn together in a safe environment.
Yeah, that was super cool. And then Dr. Go told me you were running for executive president, but you lost.
Yeah, what was it? Executive? I think it was senior class president.
Oh, okay.
I think it was senior class president. I did lose. I did like zero. I was a zero campaign effort. I did absolutely no campaign, which came back and bit me in the butt. If you're running for an office, you should probably like make at least one sign or make at least some modicum of an effort. So yeah, that actually, I've lived a quite privileged life in my lifetime. I've not wasn't too used to losing. Yeah. So like that was good for me. It was actually good for me. I like to think that I was relatively grounded, but like that was like it's good to get a rep at losing.
Yeah.
And some things, and obviously, I mean, I've lost football games and things before that, so forth. But like, I also won a lot of championships, so I used to like winning feels good. So that was good for me to get a rep at publicly losing. That was like that was good for me.
ASB is like a super cool part of Saints. Like, so wait, did you join ASB after, or you just after that?
No, I was in.
Were you in it before?
I was in it before, and I was still ended up serving as like a sergeant in arms wings position. Sergeant in arms, rally the troops.
Devin and I are both in ASB. Did you join freshman?
No, I didn't do freshman year. I ran sophomore.
Okay, yeah, I started freshman year at like some like ambassador or whatever,
and then junior senior year.
Okay, yeah, and then like sophomore year I was the president of sophomore class, and then I'm kind of doing the same thing now with like the juniors. But yeah, ASB is a favorite. Like that's so we can just like do like kind of all this stuff. Like that's like genuinely why we have this podcast.
Right. Make a lot of ideas.
So like in some way that's kind of like what we have like going with like your blog. Like that's just like kind of how we express ourselves. And then I saw when I was going through this, where I saw you had a little career in dancing.
Career in dancing,
or at least an attempt of career.
Are you talking about that? Whoa, like middle school?
The juke video.
Oh,
I saw a video of like you guys. You were like in a garage, like dancing around.
And growing up, in like middle school, we did a little bit of high school. It was mostly like elementary, middle school. Me and my friends growing up that I'm still close with. We've been best friends for 20 years. We had a jerk group.
Oh, jerk, not jerk, it was jerk.
Yeah, we had a jerk group with Dominic Morgan. You remember Dom Morgan?
Oh my God.
I mean it. That's what I'm like. What are you talking about?
I'm scrolling through. I'm like, what?
No, then we did do like a joke. I think it was maybe like my freshman year at Stanford, my first or second year at Stanford. We did do like a joke, like, oh, like a reunion. We're gonna run these things back. But now, if we try to do that, like, I think I'd still be fine because I'm still in decent shape. One or two of us will like pop an Achilles or like blow an ACL.
No, it's like you're like in ripped skinny jeans, like in the garage with no shirt on.
That's my garage. That's my garage. I think I was back from like, I think it was a week or so break. This might have been around Christmas time. Okay. I think it was like right before a bowl game.
Yes, it was Christmas time.
Yeah, it was Christmas time.
It was like a Christmas intro theme.
It was right before a bowl game. That we had, it might have been, it was either, I don't think it was before the Rose Bowl. I think it might have been before the Sun Bowl, my sophomore year. We had like 4 days off for Christmas because the bowl game was after Christmas. And I think I was just like, let's run this back for old time's sake. Yeah. No, that was never serious. Although way back in the day, middle school, we did have a couple sponsorships. We're getting some free gear to promote in our old jerk videos. Please don't dig those up.
I dug them up. It was so funny. No, because I first like realized it because we actually dived kind of deep. We did not do this.
I see if you're like scraping through my Twitter. I think I just need to shut the Twitter down at this point.
I was in your Stanford file going through, and I'm scrolling down, and it was like father. Your dad was in NFL.
My grandfather.
Yeah, grandfather's in the NFL. Like all your like stuff, rivals, rankings, everything, and then just at the very end, it just goes enjoys dancing. Did you know that was on there?
I think so.
I think so.
No, I didn't put that. Like somebody from Stanford like creates those profiles your freshman year, then they add to it based on like after each season they'll add to it. But no, I do like to dance, but I wouldn't have put that on my Stanford football profile.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, we were looking through. We kind of like funny. Went through like your like football kind of like career, and we saw the CAF speech. Yeah. That you gave.
After I tore my knee out.
That was like the greatest. It was literally like it looked like it was out of a movie. Like what was the story? Like you tore your ACL like first quarter or something?
It was my MCL.
Your MCL.
It was in the first quarter. My last game, My last game, I knew it was going to be my last game with Saints because our record in the regular season. Yeah, it was senior year. Our record in the regular season wasn't good enough for us to move on to state. So it was like, this is it. That was the D1 CIF championship game. And I was actually, that game, I was wearing my grandfather's socks, which is the first time I ever did that. That was like from...
I did not know that.
When he played, I don't know if I ever even spoke about this, when he played for the Chargers.
Yeah.
In the 60s. And it was like these like old socks that were like kept still in good condition. And I was like wearing those socks, and I was getting ready to do some funny thing. I hope I don't give you guys a bad idea here. But I was in old school, like kind of an homage to my grandfather in that time of football. The receivers would put their hand on the ground. They'd be lined up in the 3-point stands.
What?
And I was about to go out on the next offensive drive and line up with my hand on the ground in the 3-point stance. And actually, I only played one offensive series that game. And we had a defensive series. We had the game plan was so nice, too. We were going to shut Madison's offense down entirely.
Okay.
And then I had the one offensive drive I played in. I only came in for one play on offense, and there was a screen. The ball was coming to me. So I was like, I'm not gonna draw extra attention to myself right now. Put my hand on the ground because I know I'm about to get the ball. And I took it like 70. I think I got tripped up on like the 2-yard line or something.
Damn.
And we scored the next play. And then I got hurt on the next drive. And I was like, I mean, obviously I'm mad about getting hurt, but like later on I was like, I never got to be funny and put my hand on the ground. Yeah, but the next drive I was making a tackle, and my body slung around weird, and my leg hit somebody else's like helmet, and my knee stopped, and my foot got bent from somebody else running, and my MCL just kind of like completely opened up. And I finished. There was one more play. I played the next play. I think they scored. Then I came to the sideline, and I asked our trainer for a knee brace.
Okay.
I was like, hey, can I get a knee brace? She was like, what do you mean, can you get a knee brace? I was like, I wasn't trying to give any more information. I was like, can I just get a knee brace? Like, I was wanting a knee brace. Let me just get a knee brace. And she was like, what do you mean? Like, can I check your knee out really quickly? And I was like, I just want a knee brace. Like, you just give me a knee brace.
The feel.
Yeah, just give me a knee brace. It's just going to feel good. Yeah, for the swag. Swag me out with a knee brace to just hold everything in place. And then she was like, okay, I need to evaluate your knee with Dr. Valletta, who was our team doctor. And like immediately they like flexed my knee, and like it was just like, and they're like, no. They're like, you're not playing anymore. And it was like my knee did feel loose. Like I was like walking off, and I was like, my knee, every step, my knee was wobbling. But I was like, I can still play. I can still be an effective player. But yeah, so that was like a killer to not be able to finish that game. And it was so deflating. Like, we went into the halftime, the sideline, and like a lot of great players we had on our team: Elijah Preston, Francois Sims, Quinn Sayal, Jacob Baker, Tommy, Chris Cassell. Like they like came up to me. I especially remember a moment with Elijah, and he was like, "Frank, like, are you able to play? You could play." And I was like, "I can't do it." And like he was just like, I'm deflated. Like, no. I felt like the life gets sucked out of him. And I was like, my job right now is to reinvigorate this team because I can't play. And that was like a gut-wrenching moment for myself and the team. So for them to still be able to come out and get the win was a very emotional moment. And that was this emotion coming out at the end there. And honestly, just showing my love and appreciation for
that was
how we came together as a team to rally and won the championship game.
And you won.
Yeah,
I remember, like, I saw the clip, like they kind of lifted you up, and you're like everyone's like huddled around after, and you're holding the trophy with the hat on.
Yeah,
and
that was a special moment.
Like, that was amazing.
That was a very special moment. One that honestly probably the best moment of my Saints career. To be able to win that time and go out as a champion, it definitely makes everything sweeter.
At that time, the pit was like
chaos.
amazing.
Yeah,
like that was
top
like
tier,
crazy.
top tier. Even in basketball season, all the football guys who weren't playing basketball would go into pit. Just pure pandemonium. Loved it.
It was crazy. Like our pit, like okay, so like coming in our freshman year,
Yeah, it was. We had some.
it was the best pit. Like it was so cool. And then sophomore year, a lot of like the good like seniors that would lead it kind of left. And then like so like sophomore year and this year, like it hasn't been the best, but I really want to just like try to revive it. The basketball pits are
Yeah,
really
basketball
good.
is always.
Yeah,
But damn,
especially because it's so much more intimate too.
yeah,
like,
it's
you're
like right there.
on
Have
the
you
court.
seen you've seen the new gym?
Yeah, when the pit's like right here.
Yeah. It's like literally right there.
Yeah.
You can see it.
So what was it like transitioning from Saints to play football at Stanford? Like how was the experience level, and how did you feel playing in a Pac-12 environment at the time?
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of these transition moments for me in life, for whatever reason, have felt like decently seamless. It's just like, here we go. Everything we've done in life previously has prepared us to get here, and if not, we're gonna learn quickly because we learn quickly. And so from the football perspective, it felt good at the time with our program with Coach Sanchez. Like we already, I think more so than a lot of other high school programs, we did a lot of scouting, a lot of game planning. And the cool thing that I really appreciated during my time, especially my senior year in particularly, Coach Sanchez actually brought me into several meetings with the coaches in terms of when we would game plan.
Oh, okay. That was kind of how the offer like sprouted.
Yeah. Okay. Like he's brought me in on a lot of those in that way. Like I got a lot of reps of like being a professional, treating football from a professional perspective. And my favorite part of the game has always been like the X's and O's and the mental side. Granted, is it fun to hit somebody hard every now and then? Yes. But as I mentioned earlier, it started to hurt. I was like, okay, like hitting people hard is kind of cool every now and then, but like sometimes I'm just trying to get somebody on the ground. But I love the mental side. I actually remember a moment, I think it was my junior year. It was definitely my junior year. We're in the playoffs. We just won the playoff game. I can't remember who we beat, and we knew we were playing Imperial the next week. Who had Royce Freeman was their running back. He went on to play at Oregon, playing the NFL for a couple years. And literally, we won that game, and on the bus ride back, as we saw that Imperial won, and we were playing against Royce Freeman. On the bus ride back from that game, Coach Sanchez pulled me up to the front of the bus, and we started like on the whiteboard, like game planning how we're gonna defend them. Yeah, and like we ended up coming up. We changed our defense around for it, and like put me at free safety, but I literally wasn't a free safety. We were kind of playing cover zero, and I was just man coverage on the running back. Like no matter where they did option, I was just going wherever he went, kind of like as a second middle linebacker at like 9 yards and just coming downhill wherever he goes. And we just came up with that on the bus ride driving back. So because of those experiences, going to play like Pac-12 ball where our system is very intellectual, it just felt like seamless, and like I love the game of football from the mental side. Yeah.
So like, what was your reaction like when you kind of got that call, or did Coach Sanchez like call you and say, "Hey, like Stanford's interested"?
Yeah, crazy enough, I was just very blessed throughout my football career. As I started playing varsity my freshman year, which kick-started recruitment in a lot of ways, and Stanford actually offered me my sophomore year.
Okay. Wow.
It's really early.
Yeah, I think it was maybe right after my sophomore season. I think there was like that, like Stanford's interested. They came and visited. I think it was Coach Anderson at that point. And then I went up to camp. They had a camp in the off season. I think it might have been off season after my sophomore year.
Okay.
And then I went to one of their like small like invite camps that they had in the stadium. And then after that camp, the defensive coordinator offered me then. So I was never like, oh, I'm going to Stanford.
Yeah.
That was like,
It's an insane school. I was out there last weekend. Dude, crazy.
yeah, I loved my experience there. But it was definitely the best choice for me. But I wasn't thinking about colleges really while I was at Saints. I was just blessed opportunity that the offers are coming in early on, so I knew that I could, barring anything catastrophic with my body, that I would be able to go somewhere
Yeah.
and have it covered by football.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of came early, and then I was just like, I'm keeping my head down, and I just wanted to enjoy the Saints experience.
Yeah.
It was actually like some weird things that popped up. Like, I got a letter. Are you familiar with IMG Academy in Florida?
Yeah.
I got a letter, like, I think it was before my junior year, to like transfer to IMG Academy and go there.
God.
And my dad was immediately like, first he was like, well, what do you think? And I was like, I don't want to go.
Really?
But
You wanted to stay at Saints?
Yeah.
IMG? Yeah.
Yeah. And my dad was like, that's good, because like no chance in hell. I was like, you should go to prom. You should like do these things. Like life is way more than
Toss
football.
an extra tie on there.
Toss an extra tie on there, exactly. Wear a turtleneck. There's the other one. There's the other one that's in the handbook, turtlenecks.
You can wear a turtleneck?
You can wear turtlenecks. Yep.
What?
Yep, you can wear turtlenecks. We started wearing turtlenecks. Once I started wearing a turtleneck that I found from like this thrift store because I wanted to push the envelope. I wanted to push the envelope. I got a turtleneck, and then Brad Hamill, you remember Brad started rocking the turtleneck. We had a couple guys that started rocking the turtleneck. It's pretty swaggy. Unless they change the manual, you can still get by with the turtleneck.
Yeah, I'll look at it. I have it in my back.
During winter time, like it's swaggy. You come in with the turtleneck, it's swaggy.
So, in your Stanford career, I mean, you wanted to be a brain surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that. And whatever happened to that, and like, how did it transition into your life today?
Yeah. Ever since I was about 7 years old, wanted to play in the NFL and then become a neurosurgeon. Those are the things. Was relatively on track. Was pre-med at Stanford, going through all those classes. I don't know how I was doing that with football, but it happened.
You tweeted a few times about that.
I probably did. I'm certain. I probably tweeted about my GPA getting slammed. So I like biochemistry.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, checks out. It was relatively on track, and then I played some good seasons at Stanford, moved to safety, which was like a great fit for me compared to cornerback, because I like the intellectual side. It allowed me to be more in control of the game. And then my senior year, I hurt my spine. I had another thing. It was one of those big hits. We were playing against Utah, and like I read the quarterback perfectly, broke on the ball, and like exploded. As soon as the ball got there, exploded the receiver. And then I didn't realize till after the game that I was at dinner with my family, and I was eating food, and then out of nowhere, like this pain in my spine just hit, and I was like on the floor of the restaurant crying.
Jeez, bro.
Like for like legitimately 45 seconds, like on the ground crying, and my mom and dad, like I was there with two of my teammates, and they're like, nobody knew what was going on. I didn't know what was going on.
Everyone's like, what's going on in this?
And then I just
Wendy's right now.
Yeah,
I just got on the floor.
Got back. Yeah, like what's up with this guy? Is he okay? I got back up, and like the pain went away, and I just kept eating. And then, like a couple days later, that happened again. I was brushing my teeth before special teams meeting in the morning. I'm just brushing my teeth, and then boom, the pain comes back, and I'm on the ground crying. I'm like, this is something's going on here. We did some things to manage the pain through the season, because I still wanted to play.
Yeah.
And finished out the year. Got an MRI after the season, and my spine was like not looking good as one might expect.
Wow.
And I got a recommendation from a couple different doctors to get surgery on my spine. And it was pretty easy. It was a hard decision, but it was pretty easy I went from debating if I was going to return for my 5th year eligibility or if I was going to declare to am I going to keep playing football or not. And then before that, I had surgery on my knee. My freshman year at Stanford, I exploded my knuckle. I had surgery on my knuckle.
Jeez.
So I already had 2 surgeries. And I was like, do I want to have my spine cut open? No. Like this is why you go to Stanford. This is why you study and do the things you do, because like head, neck, spine, you can't touch it. Because I want to be able to walk.
Yeah.
In like 10 years.
Yeah.
So I decided to hang up the cleats there. That blew up the NFL thing. Although I just wanted to play for a couple years, make a few million. But anywho, we proceed. I decided that ultimately my health is my wealth. Okay. So to lean on that. And then I was running product development for a health technology company right after I graduated from Stanford. And I was still thinking that after that I was going to go to medical school. But then this itch for ecological restoration and like taking care of land and land use and farming started to like itch me really hard. And then It got to the point where like that was my burning desire to work on that. So I ended up leaving that company, deciding I'm not going to medical school, not going to become a surgeon, at least for right now. Who knows? Maybe I'll be 7 years old and decide, okay, now's the time to go to medical school. I doubt it, but I'll leave that open. And now that's led me to doing the work that I do now, which is running a nonprofit on my family's ranch here in San Diego. And then I do some reforestation, ecological restoration work as well throughout California and in a couple different states as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
It's been a crazy shit.
that is like crazy. Like originally we were doing like a project like looking out to see like we wanted to widen our like alumni like basis, and like we were going through yearbooks, and I like found yours. We were like DMing people, and I was like whoa, like this guy's like kind of like you had like the whole like SS friendly, that's what it's called, like that going on, and like the blog. I was like, this guy's like pretty interesting. Like, I talked to Mr. Morris. We're like, we got to get this guy on the pod. Yeah, I really want to learn a little bit more about like what kind of the ranch is. Like, I could only learn like so much from just seeing
For
Instagram.
sure. Yeah. Well, at some point you got to come out. It'll be
Field trip.
Yep.
a field trip will be great. The ranch is, well, we have an animal sanctuary. Where right now we take care of goats, chickens, cows, horses, dogs. Got some pigs coming in tomorrow. And then we do farming. We do like some land-based farming. We're farming vegetables, fruits, herbs. We also just started a gourmet mushroom farming, and we got this 50-foot trailer that we converted the inside. We're about to put solar panels on it to electrify it. So now we do gourmet mushroom farming. We also do composting, where we compost all of the animal manure, as well as like the garden scraps, food scraps from local restaurants that we're composting and turning it back into soil. And then like to tie all these things together, we have our education programmings where we've been partnering with UCSD on a couple classes, trying to make our way down, trying to partner here with Saints would be great.
Get that going. When you were here, was there intercession?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, maybe we could intercession.
Yeah, no, that would be great. Honestly.
Intro to farming.
Intro to farming. Come work a ranch every day.
Within character.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Honestly, I probably have so much to learn.
Yeah.
I probably have so much to learn because I've only been doing this for the past 2 years. I actually live on the ranch as well. And then August as well, the way we blend it in is with our community events, which we bring in people and we either have education workshops. Actually, this past Sunday, my sister and one of our newer employees ran a sip and paint workshop where the paint was actually an herbal base paint that was made from herbs that we grew on the ranch with some others as well. And you could literally, the paint that you're using, you could actually drink it. It's all edible and made from herbs.
That's kind of
cool. That was like a super cool concept that they created. We do like every other first Friday, we do a poetry and music jam. We just get together. This last one that we just had, they've been growing. This last one we had was like 40, 45 people.
Oh, damn.
It's just like a way for people to come together.
Yeah,
it's like an open mic. People play music. We had like a couple guitar performances, piano performance. People do poetry. And on this last one, I actually did my first ever comedy set.
No way.
Which I'm not a comedian.
Like stand-up?
I did a stand-up comedy set. I was just in New York because I do love to travel.
Yeah, you've been.
I've been to a lot of places.
Did you go to the U.S. Open?
Yeah, I go to U.S. Open actually every year.
Oh my
so that's why I was just in New York for the U.S.
happen?
Open. Actually, before I hunkered down the ranch about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was like a crazy nomad. Like I was like, I was living in Paris for 3 months, and then like I lived in Iceland for a month, and then I would like go to Guatemala for 2 weeks, and Panama for a week, and then Brazil for a month. So I was like,
what was it like living in Iceland?
I love Iceland. Top 2 places for me:
Really?
Iceland and Japan. Iceland and Japan.
I would never guess Iceland.
Iceland is gorgeous. Topography, unreal. Like pretty much. Most like movies that you see or TV shows that are like for Alien.
Got you.
For like
It's
those
all in
Alien like
Iceland?
movies. A lot of them are in Iceland because the topography is so like otherworldly. It's actually gorgeous, and the people are going out of their way nice.
I feel like they'd be just psyched.
they're just so out of their way nice. I don't know if it's just because it's so beautiful. It's just so calm and chill. It just feels safe. They don't even have a military. They joke that anybody who's ever invaded Iceland, they just wait till winter comes and then they leave. So like we don't need a military because they'll just leave in the winter time.
Have you been there for a winter?
I was actually there late fall going into winter, which is like the prime time to see the Northern Lights.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that when the Northern Lights are gone?
It's when you can see the Northern Lights really well. And man, I had one of the most beautiful experiences that I've had, like sitting down in a natural hot spring with this Bosnian guy that I met 2 weeks ago.
Having some of those gourmet mushrooms.
No. No.
Maybe you were just in a room and you were just like, it wasn't even Northern Lights, you just had those mushrooms.
Gourmet means they're actually culinary that you put in your steak.
I know.
This wild child, somebody censor this wild child. No, I wasn't. I have photo proof. Okay. I have photo proof. I wasn't sitting in a room staring at a screen. I was actually outside, 45-minute hike up a mountain with this stranger that I met a week before, and I joked with him like, "You better not kill me." And he's ended up becoming one of my good friends, and it was just an incredible experience.
Yeah,
I recommend.
You realize like when you go to places like that, like a lot of the time here, like in the States, like people get caught up with like status, money, like ego, like what are people gonna think about like what's going on here. But like I went out, like I've got like my family's from Sicily in Italy, like small like southern island. And like I went out there this summer. My mom like let me fly out alone. I stayed with them for 2 weeks. Literally just lived with them, did what they did, like went where they went, ate where they went, and it was just like their way of life is like crazy. Like they don't care about money. They don't care about anything. They don't care about the brand on your shoes. They just want like the ideal night for them is like all the families coming over.
Right.
We're gonna have good food, and they just get hyped. Like, they're just like, this could be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like, dude, if we could just mix some of that into like the States, like I don't know. I've been trying to do it with my family, but they love it. Family's life out there.
We can. I think what you're describing is a little bit of my attempt of trying to create a sliver of that at the ranch. And just like literally just come and commune, and like we'll just come together. We'll make some food. Ideally, a lot of the vegetables are either grown at our ranch/farm or from some neighboring local farms. Let's come together. Let's have good fruit that was picked an hour ago, and let's just like have a good time. Let's talk about our dreams, hopes, aspirations.
Yeah, it's cool. Like with like having like that fresh stuff, like it tastes so good.
Yeah.
Like
oh yeah.
Like have you heard of Chino Farms? It's like this. It's kind of like they grow like up. It's like up in Rancho Santa Fe. They grow up like cucumbers, like fresh, so that you can just go and buy. Like it's like a farm stand.
Nice.
With my girlfriend, it's really cool.
I'm certain. I've actually there's so many like small local farms here throughout San Diego County.
Yeah.
And I need to spend more time just getting out and like going to check them all out. Cause like I mentioned earlier, I have so much to learn.
Yeah.
Across the board on like how to even like run a farm stand. I'm actually in the process of building a farm stand right now. Like how do I do it in a way where it makes sense and can be open to the community and have like this experience that you had going there that people can leave with that.
Yeah, it's super cool. Like a lot of chefs go there like really early in the morning, like 4 a.m. to get nice stuff. Yeah, I kind of like how like with the farm, like with the blog, with like everything on Instagram, it's all kind of based on like questioning everything. Like, why are people doing this? Like, what is this social norm? Then I feel like we kind of have something in common where like when I was like, okay, like I was just explaining this, we had the Big Brother retreat. Do you have the kind of the Big Brother buddy system? Okay, rather, so I was telling this to my freshman, like when you kind of grow up, like there's so many eyes on you. Like when I was freshman year, all I cared about was what people think. I wanted to fit in. Like I would just kind of do like whatever I could do to fit in. Then I realized like I don't want to just like fit in. Like I don't want to like it would be like
wear a turtleneck.
Yeah, it would be like I got like one tie out.
Yeah.
No, but I'm
wearing a tie. It's just back here.
I was like I don't want to just like fit in, go with like society. Like my mom always told me like the world would be so boring if like everyone was just the same. Everyone wore the same clothes. Everyone talked the same. And so I kind of just realized like I'm gonna do what I want to do. Like you know like it's hard because like so many people are gonna judge you, but you just kind of got to realize like why would I care about those people's opinions when like they don't care about me at all?
Right.
And so I kind of focused like, if I'm just like fitting in, it's going to be like, I'm not going to be like using like the gifts God gave me. Like I would just be like shoving them to the side. And so like with that, like I've been able to do, and like Saints is the best place to like,
for sure.
Like we've got like the podcast, like everything with ASB, like it's kind of just like what I want to put into the world. Like I can just like give it to them, like literally right here. Yeah. And so like with that, like once I kind of realized that, I started just doing what I wanted, and like it's made me like so happy. And I feel like you're just such a good like product of that, like to be able just to put like all that out to the world. And like it's hard because like everyone's gonna judge you.
Yeah, see, I agree with everything that you said there, and even that last bit as well. But I will take it and apply just from my experiences, because I think what you're saying, this like realization, I think you're gonna keep realizing it the older you get, and then you start to see like you realize that people are 80 years old, they don't care about what anybody thinks at all, and that's just what's going to keep happening to you. Just keep getting to a new level of like, okay, I'm going to do the things that are the best for me and for the people that I care about, for the planet and so forth. But the one thing I will try to turn into a more positive light is that in doing, like in living your truth and living the way that feels the best for you, there is like this aura sense of like people might judge me for it, but at least in my experience, it ends up being that people more likely are appreciative of it, truly, and like actually they feel like what you're doing then opens them up. And I've seen that, at least for me, like typically in the Stanford Silicon Valley environment, a lot of people when they think about entrepreneurship, it's like, I want to build this $1 billion company. I'm building Facebook or Google, like that's the ecosystem I come from. And like literally me taking a step back from this whole like technology world for a minute and like just going to like run a farm and a ranch and a nonprofit. Like there's been a number of people, as I like shrug off those like Stanford expectations, a number of people that Stanford alums that have reached out to me like, oh, like Frank, like tell me how did you like take a step away from this super high paying job that we went and got this really awesome education that can give us access to this super high paying job. How did it feel to step away from that and like do this that your heart really called out to you? Yeah. So I think that you just living yourself, living your life, less so that people will judge you for it. I think more often than not, you'll find that people are apprecitive of it. And will start to like that's tap in with you on like, how did you break away from these societal norms and actually do what you cared about and weren't trying to maximize money, maximize followers, maximize clout. And oftentimes the money, the clout, and those things will then start to come. Strangely enough, like when you don't care about it, those things will start to come because people then start to appreciate that. You know, many like people have been like following farmers and stuff now, and like people watching people like clean horse hooves.
Oh,
like,
exactly. Oh my God. I'll sit there watching that for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They come in with
like,
the hook.
Yeah.
They get the gunk.
Yeah. So like people just doing what they like, and then like people are like, wow, a lot of humans that are stuck indoors are like doing things that they don't love, or like watching, whoa, like this is really cool. Like, but just go do what you want to do, and then like people appreciate it.
Damn. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you both for having me. I appreciate it.
James was telling me. I think we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming out and giving us that knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully I shed a nugget or two, and it was awesome to chat with both of you.